Today is Sunday, May 21st, and I'm trying to get as many splits done as fast as I can. I got 11 hives, and here we go. So I gave them this super maybe 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half. They haven't done much. Oh, there's some nectar in there, not bad. Might be from last fall, but no, some of it's dripping out. So they're bringing in nectar. I need to get these frames closer together. Actually, there's supposed to be 8 frames or 9 frame spacing in here. So I'll probably wait till the end when I put it back on to get the spacing right. So every hive today, except my 2 cell builders, are gonna get split. From my hives that I intend to make honey from, I'm only taking 2 frames of brood. From the hives that I'm just gonna split, those I'm gonna try to take 4 frames of brood. But 4 frames of brood is a lot, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. We'll see how it goes. My goal is to pull 21 frames of brood. Will that happen? Yet to be determined. So here's the queen. She's looking nice and pretty. Grab her in a clip. I think I marked her just a few weeks ago. That's why her dot's looking so good. Set her in the shade, and this frame's a good frame full of brood, capped brood, eggs, and larvae, but I'm gonna leave that for the hive to use because I wanna get as much capped brood as possible for this split. So the bees have to do the least amount of work possible. So this is a pretty good frame, beautiful frame full of capped brood. That's one that I'm gonna take. My honey colonies, I'm gonna give them drawn frames back in to fill right back up with brood. And then my colonies that I plan on just splitting are gonna get partially drawn frames. A little honey on it, but it's pretty much empty, and they'll be able to fill it right back up with brood. But I hope to harvest 2 supers of honey off of each hive, each of my honey hives, and I don't expect any harvest off of my splitting hives. All right, I gave this hive this frame. I don't remember how long ago, but doing a great job drawing it out, filling up. I'll leave that one in here. I already finished this side. Full of larvae, eggs. I think this next frame will be the one I'll take. Yep. Full of capped brood. There we go. This hive has some cups. I don't see anything. I only see one actually, or 2. And there's nothing in them, so I'm not too worried about it. So there's my 2 frames of brood. And then what I'll do is go through and shake some more frames of bees into the split to make sure they'll be okay. So this is a nice frame of pollen. I'm going to flip it around. They got some space for brood right there, so flip it around. And yep, very good looking hive. Very excited about it. Our main nectar flow will start in roughly probably 3 weeks or so, and our first nectar flow, partial nectar flow at least, will start in about a week. We just got a massive rain last night, 3 inches of rain. So the bees will be full of nectar. The Japanese honeysuckle is about to bloom, and that will start our first flow of the year. Well, dandelions were sort of a flow as well, but first real flow of the year. Here's some old honey. Some of it's crystallized. That's what almost looks like sugar. And this side's not fully drawn. I'm going to just put it right into the middle of this brood nest. I think I left them with 5 frames of brood, maybe 6. I think it was 5. That'll be plenty. I'm going to space these frames out, release the queen on the front of the box, and move on to the next hive. See you there. I added this box on roughly, oh geez, it's been a while now. Almost 3 weeks ago, yeah. I added it on just under 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks, I think. It was like Wednesday, 2.5 weeks ago. And they mostly had honey up here. So I'll probably take some of it for my splits because I have some honey frames, but I really do need more. So I'm gonna take this honey frame with me. I'm not gonna put it in the same box as brood, just so I can keep track better of how many, frames I have where. So hopefully, since it's been colder, they've been eating the honey the queen's been laying back in. And that looks to have happened here. Here's our little itty bitty queen. She's really long, really long. I think that she might be my best queen. And I think I will consider moving this hive to my grafting yard for next time. I'll just wake up early one morning and take them over. And yeah, because I think she's probably my best stock. So this has a little brood and full of eggs there. All right, so here's the queen. I'm gonna set her in the shade, put her back in later. I might be able to steal more than 4 frames of brood off of this hive though. It is absolutely packed. Beautiful frame. She laid up there as soon as I added the second box. This hive was a single. I took a frame of brood away from them and I added a second box. She was just busting. This queen is amazing. I think she's truly my best. This year, I only have one queen that I didn't make, and she's not one of them. She is one of the ones that I made last summer. She's doing a terrific job. Wow. Amazing. So I set this frame into the middle of the brood nest last Monday, and they drew out the entire thing, filled it up with eggs. The side that already had nectar in it, the bees left it as nectar because they do what they want to do. But this side, 100% brood. So I might go into the bottom mostly because this is all older brood or younger brood. Actually, this frame will work. Well, it has eggs on it. It's hard to split. So you want to get brood that's older because it's less work for the bees, but can't always get it perfect. So this frame doesn't have much brood on it, so I'm not going to take that one. I believe this is just food, but I might take one of these frames as a food frame for my splits. But I feel like I'll even know better whether this is one of my best queens if I keep splitting them and she keeps just filling back out the box. I think that only proves more how good she is, how great a queen she is. So I'm going to leave this here. I can pretty much take as much brood as I want from the bottom because they have so much in the top. Who said they can't draw some more comb? Let's see it. Let's see them do it here. I'm going to checkerboard it right into the center of this nest. After I split these colonies, I will add a super just in case. And then my plan is to leave them alone for about 2 weeks because there's no way they're going to swarm after being split. Or not no way, but I want to give them time to recover. So I'm just going to leave them alone for a long time. Hopefully in 2 weeks about 3 weeks they'll be ready to split again. And that'll be my last big split of the year. I might do a little more, but that should be enough for pretty much everything. Full of young larvae, some drone brood, capped brood. Hopefully I can find 4 frames of capped brood down here. Unlikely, but I'll take what I can get and then go back through the top if I need more. This has got a good amount of emerging brood, some young brood. There's a bee doing a waggle dance. I have no idea if you can see that or not. I'm still new to this, but I'm gonna take this frame. This is a great candidate, full of brood. Looks like I checkerboarded this frame too. They didn't do as much, but this side is full. Well, not full, but it has some eggs on it, and they're drawing this out. But in the next 2 weeks, they will get a lot done. We're about to hit the Japanese honeysuckle. Everything's gonna go bananas after that. Some queen cups, and then I've taken 3 frames of brood, on this hive so far. And I will take one more. I might have to go back to the top for the. Yep. Probably take another honey frame. They got a lot of food in here, so it's not very full though. Here's a pretty good frame of comb. Stick it right in here. Put it on the outside of the brood. Hopefully they'll expand into it. We'll see. That has eggs. Let's just say this queen has her work cut out for her. There's plenty of brood, plenty of brood, and plenty of spaces for her to lay. All right, so I will grab one more frame of brood from the top and fill back at the bottom with some partially or drawn frames. See you on the next hive. Same setup in this hive. This is a honey hive. There's some undrawn in the middle. Not doing much yet. A little bit, maybe. And then the rest of the box has some honey from last fall, as well as a little bit of honey they've probably packed in. Looks pretty new to me, but it's really hard for me to tell. Not much dripped out, but it smells good in here, which is never a bad thing. All right. Onto the bottom box where I need to go ahead and get them split. Queen's putting a little bit of larva in right in there. The rest is just food. Capped brood pollen. Looking to see if there are any eggs. And there's some eggs on this side too. Might take this frame, we'll see. Depends on how good the other frames are. So if I don't just find a queen like I have been, I will just shake these bees through an excluder. Here's my drone frame here. The bees drew out drone-sized cells, so the queen filled it right up with drones. You need your drones for the queens, so I don't care. You know, it is what it is. And what do you know? There she is. This is the only queen in my operation that I did not bake. She is from Swan's Honey in Albion, Maine. If you want to buy nukes and you live in Maine, that's where you should go. They have the best nukes. I was too late ordering because I wasn't sure if I wanted them, so I didn't get one. But they make terrific nukes. This hive drew out this frame, halfway done on this side. It's full of eggs. I'm shaking as many bees as I can today because tomorrow night, or tonight, it's gonna be 39 degrees. While that isn't freezing, not even close, it will still be pretty cold for the queen castles, which are gonna be one frame splits. And so as I go out through each hive today, I'm gonna be shaking in a lot of bees to try to prevent any brood loss. So once I finish this, I should have 10 frames of brood. So all I need is one more. And I'm done with this pallet of bees. I doubt this has brood on it, but this queen's so terrific that it actually does have brood on it. So I'll take this. All right, so I'm gonna give them some drawn comb and close them up. So I'm gonna turn this hive and the one next to it into a double queen honey production hive. I'm gonna split it today and again in 3 weeks, and then just see what it does if I combine it with another hive and try to make it a production hive. What do you know? Here's the queen. They all are jumping out at me today, so I guess I don't mind that. Watch me lose her while I have to go get my clean clip here. All right, will she evade me? I feel like there's a pretty good chance she ran into the box, but she spared me. So I got her here. I'm gonna set her in the shade. And that frame is a partial frame of brood, which is not bad considering it's the second frame in. So I'm hoping to find 4 frames of brood. Will it happen? I'm doubtful. But wow, is she doing a great job. They drew that all out in a few days and filled it up with eggs. So Very pleased. Fully capped brood, perfect. Wow. Dang. There's 2. 3. This queen has her act together. This hive would be so small, except I boosted it. Added some frames to brood, and now it's one of my strongest hives. So it's a living example of why equalizing can make a big difference. So there's some brood on that one. I have to decide which should be my 4th. I think it'll be this one. So I got some drawn frames to toss back in here. This hive's got its work cut out for it, so we'll see how it does. 3 weeks in the prime flow, and they already have a good foraging force, so I think they'll get a fair amount done. It won't be our prime flow, but it'll be a flow. Wow. Packed with brood. I have no idea if you can see that. The glare is way too bad. I'm going to take a second look. I'm actually going to use a queen excluder and shake because I haven't found her yet. Another frame full of brood, pollen. Some interesting orangish red pollen. Where are you, queen? I've been perfect 5 for 5 so far, but she may be the one that breaks that streak. What a beautiful day. I'm actually very hot in this suit, but if I wasn't wearing a bee suit, I'd be a very happy guy. All these frames are just beautiful, so full of brood. And hopefully, the queen will jump out at me. If it doesn't happen, I'm not too worried. I'll just shake through the excluder and use the frame. And then if I don't see her on the excluder, those bees will go into the box with the other. Wow, these hives, just killing it. I don't see her, and this is the second to last frame, but she decided to show up for me. So, not sure if you can see that, but there you go. So I'm gonna pull some frames of brood. Once I release the queen, I'll be done with the hive and move on to the next one. Another hive I want to make honey from. I really can't remember if the bees did this or I did it, but there's some eggs up here because I didn't put a queen excluder on back on Monday. Didn't think anything would happen, but now there's eggs all over here. It's not a huge deal to me because there's so much time before I want to harvest, but it's going to make it a lot harder to find the queen. So I'm just going to look in the bottom, or actually I'm going to look in the top and I'll tell you if I find her. See you then. All right, so she's not in the top, or at least I didn't see her. I'm pretty confident she's not up there, but I have missed a queen before, many times. So, not really sure. The only real downside to her laying up there is if she was laying up here, she probably wasn't laying as much in the bottom box here. Rather, she was upstairs, which, oh well, it's not ideal though. All right, beautiful frame of cat's brood. I should have shaken that frame through the excluder. I'm gonna do that. Full of pollen, a little bit of cat's brood. I only need one more frame of brood from this hive. So if you drew that out, filled it up. I'm gonna make it a new part of my management where every hive in early May, because at that point I've already equalized, so they're all pretty strong, I'm going to add a frame of undrawn comb into the middle of the nest, because I just think that I can get almost all of them to do a frame of comb for me, which drawn comb is gold, so I'm going to try to get as much of that gold drawn as I can. So I haven't seen her yet. Stunning frame of brood. Hopefully she's on this next frame. If not, I'll shake the bees through the excluder and we'll be fine. I believe she's marked. I think I have all my queens marked at this point. All right, is she on the last frame? Nope, missed her. All right, so now I'm just gonna shake these frames onto an excluder, and if I see her, I'll put her back in the hive. If not, she's still in here. So see you in the next yard. I'm going to my farmyard next. Took me like a total of 5 hours to get all these splits done, but I'm so glad I had them done. I went back later and fed the ones that I didn't have honey frames. There ended up being 29 total, and then one didn't make it, so I had 28. And we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how many queens will come back, but hopefully a lot. Hope you enjoyed. And if you enjoyed learning about the splitting process, you likely want to know how to add queen cells to a queenless split. So check out this video up here if you want to do that. Thanks.